Welcome back to our channel. Today's story is heartache and horror, a chilling reminder of how quickly a life can be turned upside down. This is the tragic case of Jassy Correia, a vibrant young mother whose life was brutally cut short. Join us as we unravel the details of her final night and the dark path that led to her untimely death. Our story begins on the evening of February 23rd, 2019. Jassy Correia, a 23-year-old from Boston, set out to celebrate her upcoming birthday. With her vibrant personality and a zest for life, Jassy was the kind of person who could light up a room. Jassy was born in Praia, the capital of Cape Verde, located off the coast of West Africa, on February 26, 1996. Her childhood was shaped by the beautiful beaches and vibrant culture of her homeland. When she was 3, her father, Wen, decided to move to the United States to pursue better opportunities. The family settled in Dorchester, Massachusetts, a neighborhood near Boston. Jassy was raised in the diverse community of Dorchester with her brother Joel and close cousins. She quickly adapted to her surroundings, developing a love for dance and photography. Friends recall her as lively, cheerful, and always spreading joy. At 19, her life changed dramatically when she became a mother to her daughter Gabriella, or Gabby. While Jassy hoped for a loving family, her relationship with Gabby's father, Miguel, became toxic. What started as controlling behavior, jealousy, and insecurity soon turned into intense domestic violence, culminating in a brutal attack in January 2018. The attack was vicious. A dispute over Jassy messaging another man led Miguel to violently assault her, inflicting such severe injuries that she had to contact his mother for assistance. When the police arrived, they found Jassy bruised and hiding under the basement stairs. Miguel was arrested, but showed no remorse. Fearing further retaliation, Jassy was initially hesitant to work with prosecutors. Over the next few months, the abuse persisted, with Miguel constantly pressuring Jassy to mislead authorities to protect him. In January 2019, Miguel was convicted of multiple charges, including kidnapping and assault, and sentenced to 4.5 years in prison. Jassy finally saw a glimmer of hope as her tormentor was behind bars. She looked forward to a fresh start with Gabby, believing that the worst was behind her. But, as fate would have it, danger still lurked. On February 23, 2019, Jassy set out to celebrate her upcoming birthday with friends at a trendy nightclub in Boston called Venue. She visited a boutique and purchased the outfit she wore that evening: a pair of high-heeled shoes, an orange jumpsuit, and a denim jacket. She was ready to enjoy a night out with her friends. Her friend Azza mentioned that the night was full of champagne and dancing. At 2 a.m. on February 24th, when the club closed, Jassy's friends realized she was missing. She had become separated from them and decided to catch a taxi alone to head home. In her intoxicated state, Jassy mistakenly approached a car, thinking it was her ride. When the driver refused to let her in, a disagreement broke out, leaving her stumbling and falling to the ground. Alone and visibly distressed, she caught the attention of 32-year-old Louis D. Coleman III, who noticed her vulnerability. Surveillance footage shows Coleman approaching Jassy, seemingly trying to help. He lifts her up from the ground, and they are seen walking together toward his red sedan, giving the impression that he is assisting her in her time of need. These were among the final moments Jassy was seen alive. At approximately 4:15 a.m., surveillance cameras at Louis Coleman's apartment complex in Providence, Rhode Island, recorded his red sedan entering the parking area. The footage then shows Coleman dragging what appears to be an unconscious person wearing bright orange pants similar to Jassy's jumpsuit into the building. The figure, whose upper body is exposed with long hair hanging down, appears lifeless. Coleman's actions, captured on video, immediately raised serious concerns and suspicions about his intentions and what happened next. Over the next several hours, surveillance cameras continued to track Coleman's movements around his apartment building. At 1:15 a.m. on February 28th, the footage captured him struggling to lift a large, heavy suitcase into the trunk of his car. What was inside this suitcase would soon uncover a terrifying reality. Coleman then drove this suitcase, which contained Jassy's lifeless body, across multiple state lines, eventually reaching Delaware. It was there that he was pulled over by the police, leading to the shocking discovery. Jassy was reported missing on February 26th after her father, Wen, reached out to the Boston Police Department, concerned about her whereabouts. Thanks to security footage that captured her last known moments in the company of Louis Coleman, authorities were able to swiftly identify him as a person of interest. Using this evidence, law enforcement tracked Coleman over state lines. On the evening of February 28th, officers successfully located and arrested him in Delaware, where he was found with evidence that would become crucial in the investigation. When questioned by a state trooper, Coleman made a startling confession, admitting that there was a person in the trunk of his car. Upon opening it, investigators found Jassy's body wrapped in duct tape and covered with a layer of baking soda, likely an attempt to mask odors. The forensic examination was grim, revealing that she had endured blunt force trauma, strangulation, and signs of possible sexual assault. Inside Coleman's car, the damaged interior told a story of a fierce struggle. Jassy had fought desperately for her life, but unfortunately, she was overpowered. In the days following Jassy's murder, Coleman made disturbing attempts to erase any evidence of his horrific crime. His online search history and recent purchases painted a chilling picture of premeditation and a methodical cover-up. He looked up ways to hide a crime scene, dismember a body, and effectively remove all traces of evidence. Coleman purchased a series of items, including duct tape, trash bags, baking soda, bleach, and personal protective equipment like hazmat suits and gloves. Additionally, he bought a large suitcase, which he later used to transport Jassy's body, further demonstrating his efforts to evade detection. On the surface, Coleman appeared to be an educated professional holding a master's degree in experimental physics, and he was known to work in the technology field in Providence, Rhode Island. To many, he seemed like a respectable and upstanding member of society. However, this outward persona masked a sinister reality. His cruel and calculated actions exposed a much darker side that no one could have foreseen, leaving those who knew him shocked and horrified by the revelation of his true nature. The arrest of Louis D. Coleman III on February 28, 2019, provided a glimmer of hope that justice might ultimately be achieved for Jassy Correia. Upon discovering Jassy's lifeless body in the trunk of Coleman's vehicle, investigators commenced a painstaking process to unravel the chilling and tragic circumstances surrounding her final moments. As the legal proceedings progressed, the courtroom transformed into a fierce arena for justice, with each piece of evidence intensifying the seriousness of the charges against Coleman. Coleman's trial commenced with the prosecution delivering a compelling and incriminating case. They presented harrowing evidence unearthed during their meticulous investigation. Notable evidence included security footage depicting Coleman dragging Jassy's motionless body, a suitcase that held her bound and severely injured remains, and forensic analysis that conclusively connected Coleman to the heinous crime. In the courtroom, the prosecution meticulously laid out the sequence of events leading up to Jassy's tragic death. They recounted how Coleman had initially approached Jassy outside the nightclub, assisting her into his vehicle before transporting her to his apartment in Providence. They further detailed how Coleman subsequently drove the suitcase containing Jassy's body to Delaware in a bid to avoid detection. Additionally, the prosecution presented compelling evidence from Coleman's online activities and purchases, which suggested a premeditated plan and an attempt to conceal his crimes. As the trial progressed, Coleman was directly confronted with his own admissions. Initially, he had maintained an outward appearance of normalcy, but as the evidence accumulated, his defenses disintegrated. In his confession to law enforcement, Coleman acknowledged the abduction and murder of Jassy. He described in detail how he had forcibly transported her to his apartment, where he inflicted the fatal injuries upon her. Coleman further explained how he had bound her with duct tape and covered her body with baking soda to obscure the odor. Coleman's confession was both horrifying and revealing. He disclosed that he had meticulously orchestrated the murder, including researching methods to conceal a crime scene and dispose of evidence. His online searches included unsettling queries such as, how to pull a tooth out that's not loose? Can a person fit inside a suitcase? And how to clean for embalming? These searches painted a disturbing picture of his intent and meticulous planning. Alongside his confession, the trial featured heart-wrenching testimonies from Jassy's family and friends. They spoke of their cherished memories of Jassy, her vibrant character, and the profound sorrow of her loss. The impact statements emphasized the deep void left in the lives of those who loved her and underscored the sheer cruelty of Coleman's actions. The defense's efforts to argue for a lesser charge were overshadowed by the overwhelming evidence and the heinous nature of the crime. Coleman's attempts to depict himself as a misunderstood individual failed miserably in the face of the stark, undeniable facts presented by the prosecution. In August 2020, following a trial that exposed the horror of Jassy's final moments and the depravity of Coleman's actions, the jury found Lewis Coleman guilty of kidnapping and murder. This verdict was a significant moment for Jassy's family and the community, who had been closely following the case. The sentencing phase of the trial was marked by a powerful display of grief and outrage. In court, Jassy's father, Wen, along with other family members, addressed Coleman directly. Their statements poignantly highlighted the personal devastation caused by his actions. Wen spoke of the shattered dreams and profound pain resulting from the loss of his daughter, lamenting how their pursuit of a better life had been brutally interrupted by Coleman's heinous act. When given the chance to speak, Coleman remained unmoved. He offered a brief, dispassionate no when asked if he had any final words. His lack of remorse further compounded the anguish of Jassy's loved ones. The courtroom fell into a heavy silence as the judge pronounced the sentence. Lewis D. Coleman III was sentenced to life in federal prison without the possibility of parole. This sentence was a reflection of the gravity of his crimes and the profound impact on Jassy's family and the community. The judge's ruling underscored a firm commitment to justice for Jassy Correia and served as a powerful statement against the horrors of domestic violence and murder. The case of Jassy Correia and Lewis Coleman remains a somber reminder of the necessity for vigilance and justice. Jassy's story has become emblematic of the fight against domestic violence, and her memory continues to fuel advocacy and awareness. The trials and tribulations of her case have highlighted the importance of supporting victims and ensuring that those who commit such grievous acts are held accountable. Thank you for watching this episode of Sad Tales, where we delve into the disturbing crime committed by Lewis Coleman III. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, share this episode with others, and leave your thoughts and comments below. Stay vigilant and safe. We'll see you in the next video.